Hey guys, today we have Shika and she is having total 3.9 year of experience in Java, Spring Boot and microservices. And guys, those who want to give same free mock interview, please fill out the form below in the description. So now let's get started. Hey, hello Shika, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine, Vizen. How are you?
Yes, I'm also good. Shall we start?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So Shika, can you please introduce yourself and your recent project in brief?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Shikha Upadhyay and currently working as a Java developer at Payment Gateway Solution. So basically,
Okay.
my project stack includes like core Java, JSP Servlet, as well as Spring Boot, JP, and Hibernate as well. So I'm currently working on both the project, the legacy one as well, and the new where our project has migrated to the new one using
Okay.
microservices.
Using microservices. So may I know the challenges that you guys are facing while migrating?
Yeah, so challenges such as the old legacy project is like quite complicated, using
Mm-hmm.
JSP and Sublet, it's quite
Mm-hmm.
tough. But with the help of microservices, like it's basically the entire complicated is come to in different APIs. So
Mm-hmm.
from the scratch we are building. So thus we get to know the more about the products, like actually how the everything is happening. But the
Mm-hmm.
legacy one is like lots of boilerplate and all. So
Mm-hmm.
but in new one we have simplified it very much.
Okay, cool. Can you tell me how does Spring Bean lifecycle work internally,
Yeah.
Shika?
Yeah. So basically, Spring Bean life cycle is basically like in the old, like if we say in the earlier version of Java, the when we create objects, it's totally in the developer's hand. It's all the life cycle. It's like it's when we want to like create object and how to destroy. But whereas in Spring Boot, the Bean life cycle is totally managed by Spring using IOC container. So basically, Spring firstly do the component scanning part, like
Mm-hmm.
with the notation at the rate Spring Boot application or at the rate configuration. When Spring Boot scan the components, so basically it first stores the that registered bin into the IOC container with the help of dependency injection. Like at the time of when it scans, like basically it scans the bin where it has no annotated with at the rate component, at the rate service
Mm-hmm.
and at the rate repository. These are the scanning part of beans, and then auto configurations happens where it's configures the class part defined in data source
Okay.
defined in the class parts. So
Mm-hmm.
everything whatever the control of object is in Spring Boot hands, like it does the internally object creation like init and destroy. We have post
Mm-hmm.
construct, pre-destroy before
Pre-destroy.
shutting down the action. Yeah.
Yep. That's correct. First is instantiation, then populate properties, then this post construct and all these things.
Post construct then pre-construct. Yeah.
Correct. Okay, so Shikha, can you tell me why does Spring Boot prefer constructor injection over field injection?
Yeah, so basically we use constructor injection. So for the like it will be a very simplified, there is will be no null pointer exception, because in the construction injection during the time of object not object creation specifically, when it's Spring does the component scan, it
Mm-hmm.
firstly created that object and there is like no chance of getting null pointer exception. Whereas in field injection there might be chances of you get like later on you get a null pointer exception. So that's why a constructor injection is preferred.
Okay. And other than null pointer exception, do we have other benefits as well using a constructor injection? Is it uh, better in
I
testing?
Yeah, definitely. Because when we like, if we are preferring that field injection parts, so it
Mm-hmm.
will be hard for us developers to find where the exactly that happened. Like it will be quite difficult. We have to do like manually many things to track that exact why we are getting that. Whereas in constructor injection, it will be easy to track us.
Correct. Okay, cool. Have you used conditional annotation in Spring Boot?
Uh, no, I have not, but I have like I know that why we write at the rate conditional, like we can write conditional on class, conditional
Mm-hmm.
on bean. So practically, I have not used, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm aware of that annotation.
Okay, okay. So, hey guys, I want to share something important with you. Actually, Shikha prepared from our interview preparation kit and cracked multiple interviews. We have also referred her to the multiple companies. So, guys, let me tell you, this interview preparation kit has four main parts. First is complete interview preparation material. It is a step-by-step material made by me, expert, and MNC's interviewers. 99% of the questions asked in interviews are covered in it. Second is two real enterprise client projects, code and video recorded sessions are there, and you can add this in your resume. Third is lifetime chat support. Here you can ask your doubts anytime. Fourth is referral support. Here we help you to get referred to the top MNCs. So guys, basically this material is organized as per your experience level and covers Java, Spring Boot, Spring Security, Spring Data JPA, microservices, Kafka, Maven, Git coding questions, Stream API coding questions, and many more. You can buy just the complete interview preparation material or the full interview preparation kit with project supports and referrals. I have added the links in the description below. So now moving to our interview. And guys, before moving to interview, since Shika has already purchased it and we can ask for a feedback. So Shika, can you please go ahead?
Yeah, so I have prepared all the questions from your the app kit I purchased, so it was
Mm-hmm.
very helpful. So basically, it has like different questions where I can prepare it. So it was
Okay.
like very helpful for me.
Thank you. Thank you, Shika.
Yeah,
Moving to our interview. Okay, so Shika, as we have discussed about auto configuration, right, in our earlier questions. Okay, I
yeah.
just want to know the internal mechanism that enables Spring Boot auto configuration. Do you know that?
So I guess when we use that enable auto configuration annotation, basically when we have used at the Spring Boot application annotation, inside
Mm-hmm.
it consists of three annotation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Components can at the rate configuration and at the rate enable configuration. So at the rate enable configuration, basically what it do, it automatically configures the beans, correct? So
Mm-hmm.
whatever the data source mentioned in the class file, Spring Boot using container configures it.
Cool. Have you heard about scheduled annotation?
Scheduled. Yes, in my like recent project, we have used that at the rate scheduled annotation. So basically, we have used for a purpose like we have to schedule a cron. Like we want to like at this particular time this should
Mm-hmm.
run or this should be triggered. So that's why we have used that at the rate schedule annotation.
Okay. So Shika, let's say you configured scheduled the task, right? But it's not running. Okay. So what could be the possible causes?
I guess like we have to use something like enable
Mm-hmm.
annotation. So then it's because
Enable
when we
scheduling.
use enable schedule, because
Mm-hmm.
when we use the async annotation as well, this is
Mm-hmm.
also a kind of like async programming where we want to
Mm-hmm.
like want our program to run in like in a different set. So for that also we use at the rate enable async. So for the same we have to use at the rate enable schedule.
Correct, correct, correct. And there may have another possible causes as well, right? Like wrong cron expression, right? Bean
Yeah,
not loaded, thread pool shut down, or method private or
shut down.
static. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so Shika, in your career, have you encountered any circular dependency?
Yeah, so basically in my project like where there is a three service, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Transaction service, then notify service, and then
Mm-hmm.
util service. So
Okay.
basically when the transaction has completed, okay, at
Mm-hmm.
the we want util service to call, and once
Okay.
the util service has like the method part is completed, like whatever we wanted to do like settlement and everything,
Mm-hmm.
then the final should be email should be sent to the user, correct? And thus they are independent on each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a circular dependency on them.
Yep, yep.
So
And how can we resolve it?
yeah, so we can use the retry mechanism like one of the service get down, like especially in my case when I was like locally testing.
Mm-hmm.
So many times I have faced that my notify service is not working, like
Mm-hmm.
either its instance is not created or there is a timeout, something where when the services try to call another service but timeout has reached. So we can use retry mechanism, or we
Mm-hmm.
can use a fallback response to say that yeah, this something message.
And we can
So
use
this
lazy
way
annotation, setter
lazy
injection.
annotation. yeah, lazy annotation also we can use.
Okay,
So at the time of requirement, we can only call it.
got it. Let's say you want to design a multi-threaded REST controller, right?
Okay.
So how could we design that?
So basically, when we multi-threaded, like where we want in a service to perform different tasks, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so recently I can like relate with my projects where I have
Mm-hmm.
used in my like transaction service.
Okay.
So the transaction smoothly happens. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the user wants to do, it's happen. But basically at the time of like notify service.
Mm-hmm.
So I have called it with the help of completable feature dot future dot run async, where the main thread does not have to wait to call the notify service or to send the email to the customer. It can happen parallelly or runs asynchronously.
Yep, yep. Cool. Do you know about Spring Boot starters? Like, what's the role of Spring Boot starters?
Yeah, so basically, when we create a starter Spring Boot project like springboot.io, when we create a new project, freshly new. So at the time, starters dependency we require. So
Mm-hmm.
that when we create a Spring Boot project, it does not have to like search whether this dependency is present or that this
Mm-hmm.
dependency is there or not. So we can get a like it will not start our project. So if we like in pom.xml, if we have all the starter object which already Spring Boot provides, so
Mm-hmm.
I think whatever we require to start a basic Spring Boot project, so it will like solve that issue.
Okay. Did you get a chance to create your own custom starter in your career?
Uh, no, I have
No.
like
Do you know if,
normal. I have made a project, but like
okay, okay.
I didn't get
Like
like what exactly.
in future, if someone give you this task to create your custom own starter, so how would you do that? Do you know, or do you need the references to create those?
Like it depends on the business requirement what I require. So basic
Mm-hmm.
we if I require like we use like JPA, Spring JPA we require for the
Mm-hmm.
database, or maybe MongoDB. Then we require Spring dot MongoDB, and the if we required web application, so Spring dot Web we can use. So it depends on what agar if for the async communication I require like Kafka and something, then I
Mm-hmm.
will like use that dependency. So
Okay.
thus on the
Mm-hmm.
requirement
So let me tell you how
I can
can
create.
just let me give you an overview how can we create a custom our own Spring Boot starter. First, we have to create a new model. Then we have to define auto
Yeah,
configuration in Spring factories, right? And
yeah.
then we have to provide the dependencies and default configurations there. So that's how we can able to create it. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
Moving ahead. Do you know the versioning in REST APIs?
Versioning,
Versioning like V1, V2,
yeah, yeah, versions of REST API. Yeah,
REST
we
APIs.
yes, Maven. Yeah, 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 Maven.
Okay,
We know.
okay.
Yeah, I know.
So, like, did you get a chance to create or upgrade your existing REST APIs to a newer versions?
No, I have not.
No. Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. So, tell me, what's the role of DTO in our Spring Data JPA?
What is the role of DTO?
DTO. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, DTO is a kind of like in the earlier Java version, it's kind of like Pojo. We say like
Mm-hmm.
we require. So for it is basically the what we want to show in the view part. So
Mm-hmm.
that DTO handles everything into it. It's like we can set the object, we can get the object. So this is the main like working of the DTO.
Mm, correct. Correct. Okay. Let's say you want to update only selected fields of an entity. Okay. So, how would
Okay.
you do that in Spring Data JPA?
Okay. So only selected, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have like uh, put and we can use like only the selected field, right? Yeah, I
Let's say
remember, but
you have a complete DTO, and if you want to
yeah,
update
yeah.
only selective field in the database.
Yeah, for example, like I have employees detail and just wanted to update like its employees name and its salaries. So I can like from the DTO I can get like employees dot name and employees dot salary, and then I can like pass into the uh,
You can write the query.
object.
Powering off. Connect again
Yeah.
soon.
Okay. Do you know about query annotation? At the
At
rate
the rate
query.
query and yeah, so basically we define when we using JPA, right? In the
Mm-hmm.
JPA, when we have to find the ID or username.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So JPA maps it the Java object and maps it,
Okay.
and then
Got it. So Shika, and we all know, like when we call REST APIs, right? We just pass the
yeah.
bearer token, right? I just want to know about that bearer token. Do you know?
Yeah, bearer token. Yeah, basically that is a like we can say JWT, which is
Mm-hmm.
a Java web-based token, right? Where we pass in the like in the REST API, we pass in the authorization part of like bearer, and then we put its token. So basically, what happens is a Spring Boot like jot where it
Mm-hmm.
it configures whether you are a authenticated users or not. So first it fetch that and encrypt because it is already in encrypted
Mm-hmm.
form, correct? So it fetch it breakdowns using decrypt method, and it
Mm-hmm.
fetch the details and then compare it with the database stored data, and then
Mm-hmm.
compare when the credential got matched. So yeah, we can log in, else it will throw an error like you can password is invalid or something, username mismatch and something.
Okay, got it. Do you know about that terminology bearer? What does that bearer mean, and why do we add bearer string?
I guess I'm not completely aware, but I guess bearer is the part like where we it emphasize on that this is the token where we
Mm-hmm.
need to authenticate, like
Yeah, yeah.
authentication related to something to authenticate.
Yeah, yeah. Bearer means like someone is coming for the authentication. Please authenticate that. Something like
Authentication. Yeah.
it's a foreign
Yeah.
word. I just forget. Yeah, maybe it's from Germany or Greek word. I don't know. I just forget it. But yes. Okay. Moving ahead. Like let's say you need to call three microservices in parallel, right? And
Okay.
combine their result. So how would you
Combine the result.
yes, how would you design that? Do you know, or like
Yeah, basically, if I call at a time, I have to call like three microservices. Okay,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
so is it in okay? Let's say we are calling inside a same microservices. The other three, it
mm-hmm,
depends on each. Like so, what I can use completable dot run async and then dot then supply and then accept. Like if
mm-hmm,
the previous microservice call is dependent on the other one and the other one is dependent on the third one, so we can
mm-hmm.
use supply dot run async then apply, and in the completable future we can like fetch the data.
Okay,
It gives
that
us the
is
valuable result.
correct, correct. Okay, do you know how distributed tracing works in microservice architecture?
How distributed
Tracing, tracing the service, right? Or tracing the
uh, tra-
request.
tracing the request. I guess here there's a like main use of aspect oriented programming.
Like if you want, we just have trace IDs, request IDs, right?
Trace ID. Okay, like we
Mm,
something has like we are fetching from that and we want
mm,
to trace that. Yeah,
trace
so
that.
like trace that. Yeah, we can make a UUID, a unique identifier. We can
Mm-hmm,
like attach in every whatever the suppose for example in a
mm-hmm,
transaction. So in a normal day to day life example, like whenever we make a transaction, we get a unique ID, UUID, or a
mm-hmm.
transaction ID. So with the help of that ID, yes, we can trace it.
Okay. Okay, so let's say JWT token has expired midway through a microservice call chain. So how would you handle this scenario?
So it has expired means that there will be a like inside a code there will be a timing mentioned like at this time has out like after if I have said that a jw taken only a token only for 1 hour, after 1 hour if I try to access that jw token, definitely I cannot access, I have to regenerate it. Okay, so I can either create regenerate or token different microservice API, or if
Mm-hmm.
still it is failing that there might be a there will be a like space issues or incorrect username or password. These are the possibilities, I guess.
Yep. And regenerating would be the ideal way. We could use
Yeah,
refresh tokens here.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So tell me, what's the deployment strategies that you are aware of?
Okay, so in my project, like deployment is like definitely handled by other team, but I'm little aware of it, like how the deployment is
Okay.
happened. So in my
Mm-hmm.
project, we are using Docker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
so Docker, as I know that it is a
So,
like container.
one question. As you said, deployment is being handled by another team. Okay, that's okay. But are you deploying, I mean, merging your code yourself and moving those into the
No, no.
production?
Actually there's a steps happens like
Okay,
we developers only have like we can only push onto the dev branch, correct, we
dev
cannot
branch,
directly merge to the master.
master.
For that, yeah, for that there will be like multiple of stage. First my code review will happen when I
Mm-hmm.
raise a PR. After if there is a something like some changes should be in my PR, so I
Mm-hmm.
make that changes, then again request, then again my team lead or higher authority
Mm-hmm.
will approve only, then I can merge into the master.
Got it. Got it. And can you tell me some important Git commands that you use in your day-to-day task?
Yeah, definitely I use like git pull, git push, these are the
Okay,
like basic, and also like some merge conflict happens, so we can stash our changes, git stash, git
Git
stash
stash.
pop, and then git pull and then git push,
Okay.
and git rebase hard if we want to like jump onto the previous commits,
Mm-hmm. Okay,
one previous commit. Yeah.
got it. Got it. Okay, so let's say you have created your feature branch. Okay, and now in your feature branch there are 100 commits. You made 100 commits. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Now you want to merge your feature branch into your dev branch.
Okay.
Okay, but you want to merge only selective commits. Like out of 100, you thought only 10 commits are useful from my feature branch as of now.
As of now.
And those 10 commits are random. It's not like that there's a sequence of 10 commits. Okay, and you want to merge those 10 commits into your dev branch. Okay, so
Yeah.
what would you do?
So basically, only selected ones I want to
Hmm.
like merge into the development branch, right?
Hmm.
So I guess I will first I will take pull like that everything is okay on my part, like from the master part everything is on my
Hmm.
development branch, and after that when I want to like merge into only selected one, I will select or stage only that files or which I need to commit,
Hmm. Hmm.
and
Hmm.
thus I can like merge.
Okay. Yes, there is that can be one of the way, but that happens locally. You have to stash or unstash locally. But there is one more way. Have you heard about cherry pick?
Sorry.
Cherry pick. Have you heard about cherry pick?
No,
Okay, there is a
not
git
heard.
command git cherry pick, and then we just give commit ID. So we just transfer only those commits to our dev branch, something like that. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Moving ahead, and what's a testing strategy in your current project?
Testing strategy. Like
Hmm.
I test microservice using Postman. Like this is the developer tool where we test our all the
Hmm.
microservices. whether it is working fine or not. So yeah, I
And
use
unit test
Postman to
cases?
test. Test cases, not basically like,
Okay, you guys
no, I
don't
haven't.
write.
Yeah.
And integration test cases, integration tests, end-to-end testing.
Integration, end-to-end testing, like I in the like the API, the JSON API which we passed to the API. So
Hmm.
we write like invalid values. Suppose there is a member ID
Hmm.
or any ID, so we write that alphabets whether it is accepting or not.
Hmm.
So suppose we want to fetch the some data between this time to this time frame.
Hmm.
So I we can like increase the time frame or decrease the time frame whether we are
Hmm.
properly get, and email patterns, if we pass invalid values whether it will
Hmm.
take or not. So yeah, these are some testing scenarios which I
Okay.
follow.
Are you using any AI in your project? Claude
uh,
or any other
we have implemented a chatbot. You, I guess it is
Copilot? GitHub
are we
Copilot.
asked. No, actually, I'm not aware of it. But yes, we have implemented a chatbot in our project.
Okay.
So, but I'm not fully aware of it. We have
Hmm.
just used Spring AI, I guess. I'm not aware of that,
Yeah,
how
yeah, it's fine.
exactly that had happened. But yeah,
Hmm.
Spring AI we have used.
Okay, okay. Yeah, it's fine. Moving ahead. So are you using Maven or Gradle?
Yes, we are using Maven.
Maven. Uh, okay. What's the difference between Maven clean and Maven install?
Maven clean and Maven install.
Install.
So I guess when we use Maven clean, it's just like give
Hmm.
you only the build. When we use install, we get the snapshot also.
Hmm.
Snapshot where we can use that dot jar to
Hmm.
deploy that. I guess this is the difference.
Okay. Just tell me what are the concurrency risks in HashMap in multi-threaded environments and how does concurrent HashMap solve them? What
What
is
is
concurrency
concurrent
risk in HashMap in multi-threaded
hash map?
environments and how does concurrent HashMap solve them?
Yeah, so basically, when we use a normal hash map, all right,
Mm-hmm.
so it is not a thread set. Like any
Mm-hmm.
thread can acquire that key and thus modify the values in the normal hash map. So when we are talking about the concurrent hash map, so basically, concurrent hash map uses like compare and swap locking, and it
Mm-hmm.
also implements segment locking. Like if
Mm-hmm.
this part of the segment is locked, so no other thread can come and read or write on it. So it is once acquired, you cannot, the other thread cannot modify it.
Okay. Yes, got it. Can you tell me what are the limitations of volatile keyword and can it guarantee thread safety?
I guess volatile is just about the visibility of the thread, like the values are visible to other threads.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it can be modifiable, right? Any thread can come and modify it because so thus it does not maintain the synchronization, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So these are the like we cannot completely depend on volatile keyword. It just show you the visibility. If you want to implement thread safety, you should implement atomicity.
Yes, that's correct. A volatile cannot give us atomicity. It cannot ensure thread safety.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving ahead. Let's say you are tasked with analyzing memory leaks in a long running application. What
Okay.
tools and techniques will you use?
So out of memory exception happens when, I guess, when the out of memory exception is basically, yes, I have like I have like I have got this error out of memory leak exception.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have went through it. So basically it happens like when object reference is pointed to the null. Yes, we have assigned to the a value to the object, but somehow it is at the runtime it is getting as a null exception. That's why we are getting as a out of memory exception. So we can trace it out by using like different methods like
Okay.
where
Do you know about the standard tools like Visual VM, Eclipse Map, Mat, JProfiler, or the techniques heap dump analysis, GC logs?
no, I am not
No.
aware.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Because uh, mostly we don't use these tools and all nowadays.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay. But do you know the difference between fail fast and fail safe iterators?
Yeah, I'm aware of fail fast and fail safe iterator. So basically, what happened when we try, there is a hash map. Inside hash map, there is key value pair,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time, we are iterating over the map, and
Mm-hmm.
still we are trying to remove some values in the map. So what has happened? It will throw us error of concurrent modification exception, which is a fail safe exception. Why it is fail safe? Because inside the working of a hash map, if we dive into, so there is a two counter. One is
Mm-hmm.
accepted mode, one is expected mode counter, and is one is mode counter. So when we try to like modify, so both the counter does not equals to each other, like
Mm-hmm.
so thus it throws the fail safe or concurrent modification exceptions. While in fail sorry while in the other exception, like we work on the copies of array list, copies on
Mm-hmm.
hash map. So thus it throw the fail safe exception. We work on the copies of the hash maps or
Correct.
collections.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you know how can we create immutable class?
How can we
Create immutable classes.
like immutable class we want to create?
Yes, yes, yes.
Like, can you just give me a just like if there is a class, are you
Immutability,
like
what does immutability means? We cannot change it, right? We
yeah,
cannot
we cannot
modify.
change this, like
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So we can either initialize that class as final. So
Mm-hmm.
once the class is final, we cannot inherit it or either and cannot override it. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, with the help of final keyword, we can
Final,
make a
and
class
also we
immutable.
have to make fields private final, right?
Field
And
privates, yeah, so
we should
it
use
cannot be
clone
accepted.
copy so that collections
Clone,
cannot be.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Are you aware about design patterns?
I'm not like much explored into the design
Mm-hmm.
pattern, but some of designs which I have used in my project, I'm aware, like singleton,
Okay.
factory design pattern,
What's
and
the
as well
purpose
as
of singleton
vendor,
design pattern?
to get one instance only.
Okay, and what are the ways to implement singleton design pattern?
So we can ways to create a singleton design pattern. I have just made a class
Okay,
of
got it.
API rate
Um,
limit where
Actually, we have different ways like double check locking, enum based singleton, thread safe singleton. Okay,
yeah.
okay, got it. Okay, so tell me some 4 or 5 best practices, coding practices that you follow in your day-to-day task in your Java Spring Boot project.
Yeah, so basically in the Java 17, we have like a new feature which is called record.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So instead of writing like boilerplate, lots of boilerplate or implementing different method and
Mm-hmm.
then calling it, we can directly use the record in Spring Boot. And
Okay.
also we can use like for the validation parts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can directly use @null keywords,
Mm-hmm.
which is like to check whether the data is null or not. We can use optional value.
Mm-hmm.
So earlier we used to get directly like a null pointer exception when we are fetching some data from DB or we are
Mm-hmm.
calling something. So we get a null pointer that data is empty. So
Mm-hmm.
not null pointer. We can, yeah, definitely we'll get a null pointer because the data empty. But while with the help of optional main feature is it can be null or can have value. So it does not give us that null pointer exception
Mm-hmm.
directly. And other than that, we can make use of completable features to run the task asyncly. Correct. And then supply async, as I have mentioned earlier. So these are the best practices I have used.
Okay, that's correct. Moving ahead, like I just want to know the feature where you have implemented multi-threading. Do you know in your current project?
uh Multi-threading, yeah. So we have make use of executor service, where
Okay,
we have
so just
defined
tell
the.
me, okay, Shika, one second. Just tell me where we should use multi-threading. I mean, where multi-threading is a good thing to use. Just tell me few scenarios and tell me few more scenarios as well where multi-threading is not a good thing to use.
Yeah, basically we use multi-threading, like we want to make at a time we want to do different tasks. So this is the scenario where our main thread should not wait for the other thread to complete and then we'll proceed to the further. In the best practice is to use multi-threading. Like we have 2 3 scenarios, like if I want to do a shopping, all right, I'm doing a shopping or making a transaction at the same time. So in the daily life, we make
Okay.
transaction, we have made a transaction and we get an email. So that is the best example that companies are using
Companies are using.
multi-threading environment. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And where we not I guess where it does not require, like we are doing
Where one task is
something like.
dependent on other.